Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of The Richard Show. It's your boy, Richard Lewis, in the house with his boy, Sam, my house boy. How you doing?
All right, man.
Yeah.
Good.
Good. Or is it homeboy? I get
Homeboy,
mixed up.
I think it's house boy, mate. I think that's from another time.
It's what you have in British public schools.
Yeah. Those ones.
Yeah, it's what you have. British public schools.
Yeah.
You get appointed houseboy, which I think is it a good thing?
I don't even know.
Is houseboy a good thing? I'm always thinking like that the houseboy is the guy that like shines the shoes for the older boys and stuff. They still do that, I think, in public school.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it's a good thing. I think it's getting wrecked, like.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Good. So you are my houseboy and my homeboy. The two aren't mutually exclusive, I don't think. Tell you what though, we've been cursed, mate. Have you noticed? Well, the last two times we tried to record a show with a guest, the internet's just gone full ghetto on us. So we did try, for those of you that have been following the show, we did try and record Semler today. Sam's internet went down in the darkest, deepest parts of Wales. That was done. And then we tried to record the Shinobi show the night before, and his net went down in the darkest, deepest parts of not Wales.
Bosnia.
So he's not from there, mate. So it's been a bit of a strange one. So we're just here. We're going to go over all of the news and stuff that's been going on, and why not? But first off, let's start the show. We've had some more fan animations sent in. This is rapidly becoming a thing. It seems.
Yeah, I like it as well. It's cool.
You like it, do you?
Because there was a podcast I used to watch. Can't remember the name of it. It was a gaming podcast, but people used to do this from all the time. I was like, one day our fans will do this, and they have.
Well, you had those animated bits in the Ricky Gervais podcast as well.
Yeah, but that was like the whole show, right? Like that was a TV show. It wasn't quite the same.
Yeah, but still, if we had an animator, a team of animators working around the clock,
getting paid.
I don't know. Yeah, it wouldn't
full-time wages.
It wouldn't work for a daily show. Everyone would just be knackered out. You'd want to end it all, wouldn't you? After like 1 week, like, my wrist. You'd go fucking Olaf Meister. Yeah. But anyway, so we got another one. Where someone's took one of my trademark rants and animated over it. Different art style to the other one that we had. What was the name of this individual? I think I've actually got it on my Twitter feed, but I get a lot of tweets at the moment. Hang on.
Let me dig.
Yeah, I've got to scroll right back. Yeah, so it's at official FSN TV. I think that's the name of the YouTube channel as well, where you can find it. But yeah, this was my rant about Colin Cowherd on the last show, and I'll let you play it for all of our watchers now, Sam. It's not a brilliant idea, and even though it's all a work, and it's a massive work, shame on whoever does take his money, right? Just shame on you when you do, and everyone will be beating down his fucking door. Right? Oh God, Colin, can I have your money? You like esports now?
Validation from a dying medium.
It's like how many people had fucking horrible, abusive fathers in esports? What sort of fucked up daddy issues do we all have collectively? Where it's like we have to try and impress people who just shit on us constantly. Mainstream media shit on us constantly. Please love me. Please.
Sky News.
Please validate what we do. Fucking Colin Cowherd. Yeah, esports is shit. If you like esports, you're an idiot. I'd never have anything to do with esports. Please, just like us, please. I'm going to invest in esports. Oh my God. I'm so happy, Dad. I love you. Come on, man. What happened, mate? You fucking just some mad shit, like, or growing up. Like, your dad doesn't even beat you. He's not even, he doesn't even beat you. He just puts you in a bath. Makes you stand in the bath of cold water. Do you know what I mean? You're in there for 4 hours, mate. You're not coming out. You're in there for 4 hours.
It's cold in here.
Can I come out the bath now, Dad? No, you can't. Not until you stop disappointing me. And then, like, somewhere while you stood in the bath of cold water shivering, you think, I'll get into esports. Holy fucking shit, guys!
Oh, fucking hell.
So there we go. So thanks for that one, especially the very vivid depictions of people shitting on people. Always nice to get sent that in the post, isn't it? So appreciate that. And obviously, if you're an animator and you want to animate a segment, you can certainly do so. You've got permission. Just tell us about it. So let's get into the news. I'm starting to sound like a shit Keemstar.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, better watch.
Let's get ready.
Right into the news. I like Keem. I don't care what anyone says. I do.
I used to watch him ages ago, actually, when he used to make Halo videos in, like, 2008. Yeah, I don't know if he wants people to know about this, right? But back in the day, he had a Halo site, and it was, like, for these trolling videos, and what he would do is, every day, people would watch his stream, he'd tell them to get their 5 clicks in, right? And by that, he meant, go to the website and click on 5 ads. Now, if anyone knows how AdSense works, that's just bare money. Like, so, yeah. But eventually AdSense caught on, just like, hang on, mate. Can't he be doing this? And his AdSense got shut down.
Oh, that's a shame.
The beginning of the end.
Yeah, but fuck it though. I
would have done the same. Get wrecked.
It should be implicit that you're going to click on the ads if you want to support somebody and you know that their primary income comes from ads, right? Yeah. That's what you should be doing. I shouldn't have to tell you to go and click 5 times. You should be clicking all day, every day.
We'll see if that's in the VOD. I don't know if we should leave that in. I don't know if it'll wreck him. Because I don't know what Google's law is on opening a new one after you've been banned, see, so...
No, but I'm sure they know about that. He's made videos about it.
Has he?
Yeah, Keem's open as fuck, dude.
Okay.
So, anyway, let's go on. Where should we start? Should we start with more WESA shit?
Alright, come on. Let's not spend too long on it, though, because...
No, I'm not going to. Look, I don't think the WESA fucking drama's played out yet, mate, because we still don't know exactly what it is and what it's supposed to be doing. There's all this information coming in secondhand. There's no clear statement from ESL about the intentions or about the function of WESA. Beyond that, they keep comparing it to the NFL and the NHL and all this other shit. And okay, fine. I'm into that, right? But then when it comes to the hard questions, they don't really seem to have an answer. Now, this is where it gets interesting. GameSpot actually published an article initially talking about the WESA and the World Esports Association, and they were talking about it in very glowing terms. They were part of this blanket coverage that I was talking about, where everybody is saying good things about WESA because everybody wants to kind of get in, I would imagine, with something they think is going to be a big driving force in the industry. I mean, that and the fact that obviously ESL have deliberately queued up. I mean, when was the last time an esports association or league or anything like that was announced to a press conference with the mainstream press there? Just doesn't happen, does it? Hmm. So they've obviously made a very concerted effort here to be, okay, well, we may not get any play with the community. I think this is why they've done this. They know the community, because it's ESL, they know the community's not going to fucking be positive. Of course they're not going to be positive. It's ESL. How many times have they tried shit and people called them out for it or caught them in the act? So they know once bitten, twice shy. They know that's how the community's going to think about it. So what they've done here is they've brought the mainstream in with open arms. Here's a press conference. Here's some fizzy pop, some jelly and ice cream. Right? Just like when Margaret Thatcher died. And listen to what we've got to tell you about WESA. And of course, whatever people say about the mechanics of the press, I know this firsthand. Like, okay, so a lot of journalists are fucking susceptible to just being treated nicely. And that a big part of that's because nobody treats journalists nicely. They are, universally reviled as scumbags. So when somebody comes up to you and says, do you want some fizzy cola? And hey, look, here's a goodie bag with a slice of birthday cake, right? And you could take that home and put that next to your pens that you use. But you're a journalist. And A, you have pens, and B, you can't afford a fridge. So they do that, right? And the journalist tears up a little like, oh, God, I've never been treated so nice. never been given cake and fizzy cola before. So they go home, and when they come to write the piece, all they can think about is the cake and the fizzy cola, and they type it up, and before they know it, they've written this glowing puff piece. And that's because, journalists are just treated so badly by everybody else. Like a little bit of love goes a long way. And you shouldn't do that if you're a journalist. I definitely don't do that. I've had companies give me things, and as they've given it to me, I've said in advance, as they're handing it over, it's good that you're going to give me this, but first of all, I'm definitely not going to write a good review because I think all your products are garbage, and I'm not going to use this. I'll probably just give this away to one of my Twitter followers or a mate or something. But thanks. That's just...
Cheers, big man. See ya.
Short of it. That's the long and the short of it. But anyway, point is, a little bit of love goes a long way. It's kind of like, when you break people psychologically in an interrogation.
Fucking hell. They're the good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, but the whole point of that is, sometimes you don't even need good cop, bad cop. What you do is you strip everything away from somebody, you break them down, you find out what buttons to push, and you wear them down, and then you just come in one day and you sit down, you offer them a drink of water, maybe a cigarette, if they smoke. Obviously, don't do that if they don't. They'll just think it's part of the cruelty, and it will fuck the whole thing up. And you offer them it, and then you offer your hand, and they just start because they just haven't had any kindness for a while, and then they tell you everything. They confess to any crime. Journalists, they're just susceptible like everybody else. So GameSpot wrote this piece, and it was positive, but then, holy shit, did they fucking make up for it with this thing by Rob Crosley today. Just a ridiculous interview with Ralph Reichart and what's his name, Pietro Fringuelli. And the thing is, it's good because on the one hand, it's like one of the first real interviews where someone really had a go at them. Like I went into my interview blind when I did the James Lampkin thing. I'd only really heard a little bit about what was going on, and I was still trying to make sense of it myself. So I just went in with some broader questions. I thought they were still essential ones that the community needed to know, and it was very important that if ESL were going to lie, let's trap him in a lie early doors, But they answered them, and then people can make those answers what they want. But this is the first time somebody, this guy, Rob Crosley, I think this guy must just be like, when he goes to sleep at night, he just has screens all around his fucking bed. And he just lies there, and on the screen to just Jeremy Paxman interviews. And it's just like, blah, 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 just bombarding himself in his sleep with just Paxmanisms. Because the questions are so fucking savage. He starts off with, a broad question. In order for WESA to be legitimate, shouldn't it be independent from active esports teams? Ralph Reichart answers saying, I honestly don't think so. I honestly think that the balance between team players and leagues solves that problem within the organization in that it balances it out. Interestingly, I think a lot of people would ask the opposite question. How can you make a legitimate esports association without the voice of the players? It's very interesting. Have you noticed this, Sam? Consistently throughout the press offensive for WESA, what's the one thing they keep talking about?
The last time was transparency, but now I'm guessing player voice, yeah.
So they started out with transparency, obviously.
Yeah, that didn't work.
And when they were demonstrably shown to have been the opposite of transparent, that was the report in the LA Times where they said, can you give us your bylaws and founding documents? And they went, nah. Haven't admit.
I haven't got them.
Dog ate my homework, and that was it. So now, the other thing, what started happening very rapidly after the transparency thing fell by the wayside is player voice. Let me tell you, okay, that until we have an appointed player council representative, which is elected by representatives of the other 8 teams and beyond, that interacts directly with the WESA hierarchy, players do not have a voice at all. Until that happens, they do not have a voice at all. Richard, how can you say that? Taz and Get Right said the thing on the press release. How can you say that? Well, this is how I can say it. Because Organizations fundamentally act on their own interests, and players are a conduit for those interests. Now, yes, sometimes treating a player nicely can have great benefits for your organization, but you don't do it out of just the milk of human kindness. You do it because it's good business sense. These people are they're not there to represent the interests of players. Organizations are there to represent the interests of themselves. Fact. So having 8 founding organizations, brilliant. It's great. It's great that they're there. But it's got to be said, not operating in the interests of players. You know, I know organizations that are in that group, and I won't name who they are, but everyone knows who they are, but I won't name them. And it's definitely not about getting sued or anything like that, right? Or maybe other jobs in the future. But let me tell you that some of these organizations have lowballed their players in terms of salary, despite them being in the elite teams in the world. Some of them have even insisted on ridiculous splits when it comes to sticker money, like 80% to 20% in favor of the organization. And those are the organizations that are going to sit and supposedly be a voice for players. Well, that's gibberish, isn't it? That's absolute fucking gibberish. Makes no sense whatsoever. Anyway, check out this exchange. This is unreal. It's just short, sharp, staccato Q&A, right? Just rattles through this interview. So Crosley goes in, boom. He hit him with a left. Now he's coming in with a right. But the pro teams on the members committee give money to WESA through revenue shares. Not even a question, just a statement. Rijkaard, actually, no, it's the other way around. The sanctioned leagues give money to the teams in WESA. That's still the teams giving WESA money via a split in revenue. Crosley fires back again, not a question. Rijkaard. But the main financing is through sanctioning leagues. Crosley, okay. Nonetheless, teams gives you money. Rijkaard, a tiny amount. Crosley, granted, but it's money. And it's cool. And it's also about how it looks. And then Rijkaard goes, yeah, perception is reality. So just this like weird little exchange. And it's like, on the one hand, I find it admirable and I find it funny. And I find this whole interview is another PR car crash for ESL. And just another example of why I honestly think at this stage, and this is no disrespect to Ralph. Ralph's obviously a self-made man in a lot of ways. He's come up and he's been in esports a long time and he's built something he can be proud of and he's been instrumental in that. But holy shit, when you're used to being the big boss, when you're used to answering to nobody, your PR game is fucking weak because you never have to think about it, do you? You just never have to think about it. Like,
just rattle it off and make them think it.
The kind of guy who probably just thinks he could just walk around, have him killed. It's like, Ralph, mate, you're not Vladimir Putin. You know what I mean? Not that Vladimir Putin would ever do that as well. Got to fear the Russians now as well. Fear everybody. Not that Vladimir Putin would ever have anyone killed. Not that any Russian leader would have anyone killed because they believe in democracy, same as us. But if they did, if it was the Russian regimes of old, yeah. And Ralph's, it's like he needs somebody there to tell him, Ralph, it doesn't work like that, mate. Yeah, can you stand? And to be argumentative in a PR offensive and to get caught out like bang to rights that you try to deny something that is fundamentally true and then have to backpedal, it just looks so bad. Then this is like some Legion of Doom tag team shit, except in this match, the Legion of Doom are getting fucking worked just by Big Show by himself. Right, aka fucking Rob Crosley.
Well, it's Rob Crosley.
It's Rob Crosley tonight. Where's Rob Crosley? Straight in there, mate, wearing a massive fucking leotard.
Not to us.
Just handing out big fucking meaty slaps.
Digs.
Just big meaty slaps all round to Ralph Rijkaard and Fringuelli, aka the Legion of Doom. Right? And after the Rijkaard segment, he just goes, so, Pietro, you're described as independent. Fringuelli, yeah? Brilliant.
Wait, where's this?
Just scroll down.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah, right? Yeah. It's next to the guy from bottom, right? with Rick Mail. Incredibly on point. Independent from the ESL, independent from the teams. Fringuelli, yep.
Yeah.
What safeguards your independence? Nothing. You done? You done, mate?
That's interview over. See ya.
Yeah, ciao. Same time next. Picking ourselves out of another fucking PR hole. Well, it's Rob Crosley. Tag team champion Rob Crosley. Right?
Solo, both belts.
But anyway, what I will say is that this interview, to be fair, it was needlessly aggressive. He went in, like you say, he went in to go full fucking Paxman.
Well, mate, just read the very first line of this interview.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty ridiculous. In 8 years reporting on video games, it's not irrational to say that WESA is the most comprehensively flawed project I have covered so far. So it's right, there are a lot of flaws in it. I don't know if it's the most comprehensively flawed, but fair enough. But I just thought it was interesting because GameSpot had published something fairly complimentary, I think it's fair to say, about it initially, and then they said, "Hey, Crosley, you wanna do this interview?" And he's just fucking gone in and he just big showed both of them. The last question as well. He goes, again, it's not even a question. Rob Crosley doesn't ask questions, motherfucker. I'm an interviewer that don't ask questions. I just make statements and antagonize the shit out of you, and you just gotta listen, because I'm Rob fucking Crosley, yo.
And then he just plays his intro music when he walks off.
Right, isn't it? Like any interviewer who has fucking intro music when he comes into the room. His fucking dictaphone, leotard on. Fucking hell, we're getting into my Rob.
What's happening?
He's absolutely fucking wrecked him. But look, the last statement, not even a question.
This is going to be an animation, Rob Crosley, mate.
Rob Crosley, get it. He'll love it. Maybe Rob Crosley can animate it. It's late, I don't know why I'm doing Bruce Forsyth, but is he? He must be.
Don't know. I feel like I would have known if you weren't.
Here's the thing, though. You think that someone told me the other day, they went, Paul Daniels died. I was like, nah.
Did he?
Yeah, he's dead.
Didn't even know.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Point taken.
That's his greatest magic trick of all time. That cunt died 2 years ago, and he just disappeared. Nobody knows. Dead as fuck. Yeah, Paul Daniels. I went to see him live when I was a kid.
Is Debbie still donezo? Or is she alive?
Debbie's well alive, mate.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
like,
she's mad alive. 57. She's got plenty of years.
Yeah, she was well young when Paul married her.
Debbie's still banging.
Yeah, she's still looking good, mate. She's still looking good. Like a slightly ropier Carol Vorderman with blonde hair.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Mate, if you search, right, I shit you not, right? If you search Debbie McGee and it shows in the searches what you might search for, it's just leather. I swear to God, that's happened.
Debbie McGee leather. That's just search on Google. Why wouldn't it be? Anyway, the last statement from Big Show Crosley was the FIFA comparison is interesting. And I've heard that made many times today. Just from a PR perspective, I don't know why you're doing it, because FIFA is frequently accused of being one of the most corrupt sports associations in the world. And then Fringuelli goes, absolutely, yeah. But FIFA had no compliance rules at all, and no mechanisms, nothing. So it was free to do anything.
Just like WESA, with no bylaws or nothing.
Interesting. The whole premise, over the course of the interview, what it becomes really clear is the whole premise of that is WESA will be held together because if people don't like it, they'll just fuck us over and fuck WESA over. It's a very strange. My confidence wasn't exactly warmed after watching that interview. I'd expect men of the intelligence of Ralph Rijkaard and Pietro Fringuelli to really be able to, even if they didn't have anything new to say, at least wrap the interviewer up in sort of some like linguistic trickery, trip him up with their own rhetoric. But honestly, check out that interview, guys. It's a fucking car crash, and it does nothing to put you in a good place about WESA. We're still not there, guys. Nobody has brought anything out since it was announced that makes me think, yeah, this could work. this could work. So interesting there. There was another story that I think might have kind of slipped under everyone's radar. And I thought it was interesting. This obviously is League of Legends, right? So there was an article, and obviously I had to get this poorly translated. It was in a Taiwanese publication. And a man was playing League of Legends, called one of his teammates mentally retarded, which is the kind of thing I imagine is said on online games pretty often, based on my experiences. Would you agree with that?
As it should be said, mate, from most of my experiences.
So this guy said one of his teammates was mentally retarded. That guy filed a complaint, and the case got brought to court. The defense said that the online account isn't privileged to the rights of an individual. And the judge ruled that with modern technology, online accounts are just an extension of your identity and therefore have the same rights. So in other words, everything you do in Taiwan, under Taiwanese law now, because this will set a precedent, according to this judge's ruling, every electronic account you log into to do anything on the internet, from whatever their equivalent, I mean, they probably have Twitter out there, but whatever their social media sites are, to playing games, so your Steam account, everything, is an extension of your identity, and therefore your behavior is judged as if it would be in the streets, in a court of law, from all the stuff you would do outside. Now, the guy who called that dude mentally retarded got jailed for 30 days and fined.
That's unreal.
30 days in prison. And, I'll say this. People will be going, yeah, but that's Taiwan, right? I know straight away people are going to be listening to this going, it's Taiwan. Rob Crosley comes in. Whoa! It's Taiwan! No, mate. Because it's happening everywhere. And people probably don't remember that in 2013, there was a League of Legends player who mouthed off during a game. And this was in America. And he got arrested for making a terrorist threat. So, to summarize what happened, he was playing a game, and somebody was like throwing some abuse at him, and they said, "You must be fucked in the head." And he replied with, "I'm fucked in the head, all right. I think I'm a shoot up a kindergarten and watch the blood of the innocent rain down and eat the beating heart of one of them." Now, I'm just going to go out on a limb here. I don't think he was serious.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Don't think he was serious. Don't really think he's going to shoot up a kindergarten and then eat somebody's heart. I don't think he's going to do that. He's a 19-year-old kid. But this got reported to the police, and it was investigated, and the kid got arrested. Now, his family weren't particularly wealthy, and they had to raise $50,000 bail just to get him out. And, well, this was in 2013, so it's obviously the past, but they raised $50,000 in bail to get him out. And his time in jail, he spent 6 months in, and it's just brutal. He underwent beatings and other forms of abuse from inmates. He spent time under suicide watch. And the case, actually, the prosecution were going after him and saying, that he could face up to 10 years in prison based on
So retarded, man.
based on the fact that it was a terrorist threat. So that is worrying. That's worse than Taiwan.
Yeah, at least it's only 30 days and you're out.
30 days and a fine. I mean, for an undisclosed amount. But yeah, just and I think what was crazy was that this all the hate he got as well. Like people were like when they found out about it, like people were even coming out and saying, "Well, this is deserved." That he did threaten kids and all of this stuff. Now this guy, like you go on his Facebook and he makes jokes about this shit all the time, but after just an argument on League of Legends and then one of his teammates getting all up in his face and him saying something, it just seems so crazy to me that now what we say and what we do in games is it's gonna become normal where there's nowhere to hide. Like what next? Like incorporated into the client, is there gonna be like a fucking hotline where you can just click on it and it goes to, if you're under 18, it goes to your parents, or if you're over 18, it goes to your place of work, it goes to your fucking, I don't know, the government, the police, because it just seems so fucking outlandish. I mean, we have a system, by the way, in place that kind of works like that anyway. If you're an established quantity and your identity is out there in the public domain, and you do something in a game or in any capacity online, and people find out about it, they'll just take it to social media with screenshots or a recording. They'll go after your job. This is just the norm now. That we want this in for things that should be throwaway and ephemeral. The internet shouldn't be a cohesive reality in the same way your everyday life is. But that's what's happening. It's all the same standards are now being applicable. There is no escapism, not even in the fantasy land of the internet, where nothing is real.
Yeah, I'm just saying, other people are like for this guy. Just imagine the worst thing you've ever said on the internet, right? Let's not pretend we're all civilized all the time here. We've all said some shit. Imagine if that was public and suddenly everyone's judging your moral compass on the one random offhand bad joke you might have said. It's so retarded. I can't believe anyone's actually thought of that.
Well, yeah, it's just the norm now, dude. And this is the thing. It's all fun and games. The people that dogpile, the people that pile on when it's somebody else's turn, the people that go after other people through social media, the mob, they've all got the same shit going on. Of course they have. Everyone has. Everyone does it. Everyone says shit. Saying shit is way better than doing shit, right?
Exactly.
I tell you, go fucking jump off a bridge, or, I hope you fucking choke to death or something. Obviously, I don't even mean it. Yeah, edgy, right? But I don't even mean it, do I? Obviously, I don't even mean it. We're mates, but if we're just having a row...
Get your fucking head in the game.
Yeah, get your head in the fucking game, man. You know what I mean? We've had those conversations. Of course we have. So, it just people saying that this can't spread. And we've got to be very careful about it. Look, I think there's a place to draw a line about what's acceptable and what isn't. I think when, for example, if you were to play a game, somebody did something in the game, you didn't like it, so you went and found out who they were in real life, and then you started threatening them on their like social media and making threats and making it very clear that let's say you're doing that, right? And you're
almost like exactly what happens to personalities in esports. That's what it is.
Yeah. If you started doing that to them and there was very clear threats of violence, then obviously that needs to be looked at. But just saying to some crazy shit in a game when you're getting wrecked or calling someone an idiot or retarded or whatever, that the line is clearly there for me. That's just, there's no need for any court in any part of the world to be clogged up with that sort of frivolous nonsense. We'll all be okay. We'll get over it. It just seems we're just getting rapidly sensitive for no reason about these things. Now, with that in mind, an interesting story that came up, which is tangentially related to what we're talking about here and has caused quite a stir, was the recent DreamHack Hearthstone tournament. There was a player there called Terrence Miller, a black player, and I'm not highlighting his race because I want to highlight his race, but because of what the story's about. Now, during his run in the tournament, the Twitch chat, which we're all familiar with, we all know Twitch chat, we all know how that is, they were spamming varying degrees of racial epithets and racist language. And PC Gamer ran a story about this, a journalist called Wes Fenlon, and they talked about sort of, well, how disgraceful it is. And they picked some of the messages out. I don't know if you've seen them.
No, not. Can you link me the article?
Yeah.
Bring it up.
See them for yourself. Now, I'm probably going to say something that'll shock you here, Sam. But I'll just talk a little bit more about it. So the abuse, I mean, while you're in the tournament, obviously you cannot see it. You're not aware of it. But I imagine people did become aware of it afterwards, and lots of screenshots were made. I mean, some of these people's account names are there. I mean, Twitch would be able to know who these people are. And again, if you can scroll down a bit with the messages in, you'll see there's some pretty fucking horrible messages here, dude. Monkey in the studio. Check your wallet after the interview. My name is Tyrone and I'm a magician. Close your eyes and your bike is missing. All this like ridiculous meme shit that people do. And of course, the N-word just profusely spammed throughout the chat. Now, this was all brought to Twitch's attention and indeed Blizzard's attention. Blizzard then responded. Mike Morhaime got in touch with PC Gamer and indeed released a public statement about this and said, "We're extremely disappointed by the hateful, offensive language used by some of the online viewers during DreamHack Austin the weekend before last. One of our company values is play nice, play fair. We feel there's no place for racism, sexism, harassment, or other discriminatory behavior in or outside of the gaming community. This is obviously a larger societal problem that affects us on many levels. We can only hope that when instances like this come alight, it encourages people to be more thoughtful and positive and to fully reject mean-spirited commentary, whether within themselves or from their fellow gamers. To help combat this type of behavior during live events, we've reached out to players, streamers, and moderators, along with partners like Twitch, DreamHack, and others, to get consensus and collaborate on what to do differently moving forward. To that end, we're investigating a pilot program that Twitch has in the works to streamline moderation and combat ban evasion. We're also updating our esports tournament partner policies with a stronger system of checks, balances, and repercussions to provide a better chat experience around our content. We believe these are important steps to take to help address the related issues, but we acknowledge that they only address part of the problem. This is ultimately an industry-wide issue, and it will take all of us to make a real impact." So, some people have already reacted to this and saying this is another extension of social justice warrior ideals and that this is about censorship being introduced into the Twitch chat experience, and that Blizzard is a company that's become increasingly compromised after the Overwatch incident with the ass that was too sexy to be included on a player model. But I'm not sure I subscribe to that. That's the shock. I don't actually think that's true at all. And to put it in context, when I go to football matches and have done all my life, any racist chanting there, if you report that individual to a steward, they get removed. Matches have been called off due to racist chanting. Players have walked off due to racist chanting. And the problem of racism in football, we're still a million miles away from combating it with these safeguards in place. Now, my argument would be, if Twitch chat is meant to be this interactive experience, and that we're interacting not just with the people who are broadcasting, also with each other while we watch, then I have no issue with them wanting to take some punitive measures against people who are racist or use socially inappropriate language. Now, I know what you're thinking straight away there, Sam. You're like, socially inappropriate language? Come on, Rich.
Yeah.
There's no such thing. Is that what you're thinking? Something along those lines?
Close, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah,
but that's just not true, is it? Imagine Twitch is like a stadium.
Their channel's the stadium. Twitch is football in this analogy.
Okay. Right.
That's why I'm down for them being banned from the stadium. But does that mean they get banned from ever seeing football again?
Well, actually, anyone found guilty of racism will very often get 2-year to lifetime bans from attending football matches. Yeah.
Yeah, but just from the club, right? How can you? It's not that I'm against banning them. If it's possible, I would. The only thing that's weird is there's definitely varying degrees here. But obviously, the racist becomes the difference. But some people are getting chastised for using the try hard emote. Is that racist?
But again,
whenever there's an Asian person on stream, they do Ming Lee, and Twitch is like, hey, Ming Lee, it's funny, Nero, it's funny, it's like a joke amongst the Twitch community.
Yeah, and I think you have to look at some of the. You have to look at some of the contextual stuff around the emotes. I don't think Twitch put anything that's inherently racist, and in the same way that having an emote that's an Asian person laughing is not racist in and of itself, obviously.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And it isn't racist if they post it when they're an Asian person either.
No, but I don't think anyone's talking about that, dude.
I mean, don't know, some of them are.
You've seen the messages but those people are the extremes. You've got to ignore them.
Yeah, well, obviously, nobody wants racism. To argue against that is retarded. But the only thing I'm worried about is this middle ground of spamming emotes and stuff, because that's not the same, is it?
To put it in context, right, there was a incident with Chelsea football supporters, when they were coming back from a football game. You saw this, right, on the Paris Metro. You saw this, yeah?
I think so.
Where 4 Chelsea fans they pushed a black commuter off the train.
No, I didn't see that.
Right, so he was about to get on the train.
Yeah.
One of the Chelsea fans pushed him off, and he couldn't get on. And then they started singing, "We're racist, we're racist, we're racist," and that's the way we like because they're Chelsea.
Fucking hell!
Not
even a good chant.
Not even a good chant. No, we're racist, we're racist,
we're racist, we're racist.
I mean,
well done.
Yeah, you can't really. The funny part is then that when they all got caught, they then tried to argue, "No, we're not racist." You're singing a song. You're singing a song where you said we're racist, and that's the way you like it. Nah, mate.
Wasn't me.
Context is important, you see.
Fucking retards.
Yeah, so obviously, right? So now they were subject to a big hunt. People shared this footage in France throughout the footballing community. It was all over the British news. I remember that morning very well. It was one of the lead stories, actually. It wasn't just in the sports section. And they all got caught out. I mean, apart from the fact it was on CCTV, which I don't know what they were expecting, on the underground in Paris. Do you think there might be some cameras there? Also, the fact we live in an age where everyone carries a camera anyway. But they got banned from football matches for 5 years, which is the maximum period allowed, I think it is. I think it has to be racially incited violence for a lifetime ban. For just racial abuse, it's up to 5 years. So you can't really say that there aren't examples in real life of people getting banned from things if they do racially inappropriate stuff. And here's the key. This isn't somebody saying the N-word while listening to some hip-hop or saying it to a friend to try and be funny. This isn't Shaun of the Dead with Nick Frost.
Yeah.
This is a white man saying it to a black man as he's pushing him off a train. The argument for that not being racist, which is literally that was their defense. They denied it was racist. They honestly went to court. Even without the song. You can't. Anyway. So my argument would also stand that when a black player is playing Hearthstone and people are spamming racial abuse, the only context is that it is aimed at that individual. And then unfortunately, no matter how much anyone might want to spin it into a free speech issue, that's when it becomes racist.
Well, no, it's not free speech. You're in a private channel. Get fucked about your free speech, mate. You know what I mean? Obviously, anyone who say actually racist things, the only thing I was worried about is like if people using emote shit, are going to get caught in it.
Okay, so this is the next part where people started getting worried, because what they've said here is that they're looking at this a better comprehensive system, and they're saying we're also updating our esports tournament partner policies with a stronger system of checks, balances, and repercussions. Now, I know a thing or two about esports speak, and I know a thing or two about corporate speak. So let me tell you what this means. What this means is Blizzard have said to DreamHack, you didn't mod your channel appropriately. Because on the one hand, and that's who they're aiming it at. They've certainly said to Twitch, you've got to give DreamHack better tools. And DreamHack have said, come on, Blizzard, we need better tools. But the fact is, we all sit in Twitch chat, and you can have you can rely on like auto ban filters for certain words, but people can put them in a different font. You can spam an ASCII swastika. It's not going to catch everything. Relying on language filters are not going to catch and delete the offensive speech. They're not going to delete it or ban people by normal. You need human checks to do this. So to do that, you need bodies on the ground. So you need people who are going to be willing during a broadcast to sit there and catch the ones that go through the filter. Now, what happens after that is, I imagine, what Blizzard are trying to say here, reading between the lines, Twitch now have a responsibility to locate who those people are in terms of how many accounts they have across the site. And I imagine ban them across the board and prevent them having Twitch accounts. So, okay. I'm probably on board with that still.
As long as it remains for this reason, then, yeah. As long as it doesn't go outside of this.
Now, where I get a little bit worried is, I do wonder about what happens when Twitch under any pressure to then share that information with Blizzard. So, for example, let's say I'm a Hearthstone player, I'm watching a Hearthstone tournament, I say something that is deemed to be offensive. Let's just dial it down a notch. Let's not have it racism. Let's not have it to be racism in this instance. Let's say that it's just something else that is deemed to be offensive, another type of offensive speech. And we know that those boundaries are increasing. As I said, all the sensible people absolutely agree racism is deplorable. Then when we start getting into other stuff like fattest and just other crazy...
Fuck up.
Yeah, fuck up.
Fuck up.
Yeah.
I'm fat because I eat and don't move. Fuck up.
Yeah, exactly.
So are you.
Yeah,
not you, as in the people. Yeah. Well, you as well. Like,
why not? Right?
You know what I mean?
In for a penny, in for a pound, mate. But let's just say that is then deemed to be hate speech by whoever observes the typing. So I would get banned from Twitch across all of my accounts there. Then, if there is this sharing of information and influence between Blizzard and Twitch, what if then Blizzard go, oh, what's his email? We want to check it on our databases. And then I get banned from ever being able to play Hearthstone or any Blizzard games again. Is that as far? Are they willing to go that far?
Or maybe they pass across an IP address, or
yeah, right. And then you just never play anything ever again. Never allowed on any Blizzard
well,
server.
and you can also like get address if you need, if you want to, you can go to the ISP.
Yeah, and then of course the other thing of course is let's not forget in most countries there are hate speech laws. So do we then have an obligation? This is what I'm saying. This is like I know everyone's going to go, oh, that's the slippery slope fallacy, because everyone on like Reddit and social media
Loves a fallacy, don't they?
Yeah, they love a good fallacy, don't they? Oh, we fucking love a fallacy. But that's not logical. That's a fallacy. That's a slippery slope fallacy. What's the other thing everyone always talks about? Is it Occam's razor?
Yeah, probably.
Fuck me, like
The old
fucking goons.
atheism debate fucking threads.
A lot of them. Anyway, but we're starting to see more and more that I feel that Twitch is not necessarily beholden to the big publishers, but I think the big games publishers are becoming more keen on leveraging that relationship to get what they want when PR problems arise, when PR problems appear. And this, of course, is a very bad look. It is a bad look when a Hearthstone player is reported to be racially abused. But let's be real here, right? Like I'll say this: we are horrendously underrepresented. Like even as a societal percentage, we're way off in esports when it comes to black people. We're way off. We're way the fuck off. Like
yeah, the only one that seems close is fighting game, right? But I don't feel that seen very closely. But that's just what I've heard from Smash pundits and stuff.
And look, here's the thing. Again, I don't necessarily want to put the burden of representation on anybody, right? Because that's bullshit as well, frankly. You get a lot of people who are like, oh, well, you're the only black player in a particular community or a particular scene, so you have an extra responsibility. Nah, fuck that noise. That's bullshit. That's like some crazy extra pressure that they don't need. But certainly we are underrepresented. So when we do get black players doing particularly well at tournaments and just having a presence in any esports scene, it's fucking awful when things like this happen, because it feeds into this idea that we are just a bunch of middle class, white, socially inept, misogynist, borderline racist losers. That's what it makes us look like. Meanwhile, it pushes away any chance of the diversity that we would desperately need to make us appear to be the contrary of that. So it's lose-lose when it happens. And Blizzard aren't going to want that. DreamHack, to be fair, aren't going to want that. Although I do think it's interesting that it's Blizzard that have had to come out and make a statement. Not DreamHack. It's a DreamHack event, right? It's DreamHack channel, right? But it happens on Twitch's platform. Yet it's Blizzard that have come out and said, we've taken the measures. Surely DreamHack put a statement out. That's what I'd be doing. I'd be like, fucking hell, yeah, we dropped the ball on this. This is bad. Blizzard wouldn't have to pick up the phone to me. I'd be straight on the phone to Blizzard like, dude, totally dropped the ball. We're going to fix this. Anybody but Blizzard, really. But Blizzard have had to come out and say it. So I don't think any criticism is deserved towards Blizzard here at all, which some people have been doing. And, some people have hit me up on it. This is how you know. Like, do you know, there's something like really frustrating when you stand for something, but people think you stand for something else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people come up to you, like I don't know, you'll make a statement, and it's like people should be free to say what they want to say. I believe in freedom of expression and freedom of speech. And then someone will say, yeah, so we could tell them all to go back home. And you go, nah, mate, nah, dog, no. No, I mean, I guess you really want to stretch what I'm saying, but still not. That's not what I'm about at all, dude. Yeah, good on you, Richard, standing up to the immigrant. Nah, mate, that's not. Fuck off. Don't include me on this fucking little demented crusade. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want those guys to think I fucking represent them, right? But I am for freedom of speech and freedom of expression. So it just sucks. It just sucks when you get sucked into The people that support you. And people were messaging me with this, go, fucking bloody Blizzard, eh? Bloody Blizzard, they've gone and done it again with a social justice warrior. I'm like, nah, this is a sensible policy. Like, Twitch chat does... I've said for the longest period of time, it was only going to be a matter of time before Twitch chat got looked at anyway, that we were going to have to find something. Because here's the problem you've got. This is the issue. If you're a tournament broadcaster or a streamer, you get more people watching your stream if Twitch chat is enabled, right? Because people want to type shit, and people want to interact and maybe ask questions and be funny, okay? It's like... if you had a stand-up comedy night where it was fully participatory with the audience and everybody could join in, it'd be a fucking disaster, but I bet you'd pack it out to the rafters every night. Because everyone loves to talk, everyone loves to voice their opinion, everyone thinks the shit they got to say is the most important shit in the fucking world, right? So, that Twitch chat works. It's a big reason why people tune in. They don't just want to watch, they want the experience of being able to interact. Now, that's all well and good, but here's the thing. Imagine, and this has happened to me a few times, where it's like, okay, so imagine football. Imagine football, and it's John Motson. He's still alive, by the way, in case you're wondering.
Sound.
Pretty sure he's still alive. I don't think he's done a Paul Daniels on me. You can Google it if you want. Anyway, John Motson, legendary football commentator. Legend. And he's there and he's doing his commentary and he's like, oh, well, I'm just getting to know this new thing called Twitch. But here we go. It's the Manchester derby. Manchester United versus Manchester City. Manchester United not having a good time of it. And fans urged a massive groan because Van Gaal has signed a 5-year contract extension. Wayne Rooney dropped to the bench. Some new unheard of Dutch twat straight into the lineup, and yeah, he's doing this, right? And he's setting the scene, and then imagine he had to look at Twitch chat while he was doing that, and it was just all the fucking Man United fans, like, fuck you, die already, you little bastard. Van Gaal is a legend. Some little emotes, like, I don't know. We love Van Gaal. He's fat.
What face?
He's fat and he's Dutch. Will score more goals than City. Will come up clutch. That's shit. But you get my with little Dutch man faces, right, or joints in between each one, right? So, and imagine it would just be like this fucking horrible assault on the senses. He wouldn't do it again, would he? Like John Motson would be like, "Fuck this!" Like, it's much better when I'm in my room with my microphone and I don't have to think about anything on the periphery. So, a lot of streamers. I talk to streamers. A lot of streamers are like, if I could get the viewers that having a chat brings without the negative shit that having the chat brings, that'd be the best. That would be the best situation. That would be the best situation. But unfortunately, it's one or the other. So I think for the longest period of time, everyone's had their head in the sands that like Twitch chat just is bad. But it's also kind of what makes Twitch great. So I don't know. This is where it's about the boundaries, and it's about policing those boundaries. And they've got to have better tools. They've got to have better tools. Shit, I mean, you've seen some of the fucking sad cases, like when I'm doing a show. There was like one guy who sat in the last time we streamed, and he kept making account after account after account. Do you know what he was doing this for? To say that I would never be on television because I'm ugly and I have a shit beard.
Sound.
Literally spent his time doing that.
See you next week, big lips.
Yeah, and he's been doing it for months. He's been doing it for months, mate. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Like how sad that guy's life is. If Twitch could find a way to permanently ban that guy, it wouldn't even be a bad thing. You'd be setting him free from this prison he's trapped himself in, this prison of obsession where because here's the thing. If you have to watch everything I do to tell me how bad it is, I got news for you. You're a fucking fan. End. The end. You tune in more regularly than the fucking people who actually like my shit. So they're crazy. But I think Twitch chat has been a bit behind the curve, and you get bought by Amazon. Let's just throw this in at the end. You get bought by Amazon for all that money, And we're promised all these changes are coming because we've got Amazon money. The money tap is just wee. What changes have actually practically been made? I'm asking you. That's a question.
All right. The friend system, mate, made it a social network.
Pretty good. Can be racist to my friends now.
They made the creative category.
What's that?
Like, now you can do anything on Twitch, basically. Garvey was telling me about it at Worlds, like, last year. I remember, that's the reason I know. Because he's like, he was saying, like, Garvey's like the fucking coolest guy ever, loves a chat with anyone. He's just saying, no, now when you stream a show, you can also stream 2 shows. You can stream you producing the show and then the show. It's like, wow.
Fucking hell. Yeah. I think Garvey's been doing some fucking DMT or something.
He's loving it. I
do love Garvey. Yeah, he's a legend.
Love
Garvey. But I mean, I love all the people at Twitch. I keep saying this consistently whenever
they're all super
at Twitch.
Nice.
I want them to get their shit together because I don't want to have to criticize them. It's like, okay, Twitch is at the point now where you had this beautiful little boy and he was such a good boy. You never had to tell him to do his chores, never had to tell him to do his homework, never had to tell him to do anything. He really respectful around the house, tidied up, just a great boy, super intelligent, really advanced, in all the top classes at school. You're like, wow, is that my boy? Is that my child? Did I make this? I'm so proud. And the future is going to be so bright, so incredibly bright for this kid. And then he discovers beer. All right? 14. He's having a few sly ones. He only has 2 cans of fucking Red Stripe down a graveyard.
That's my autobiography. What's this?
Yeah. This is. I got news for you, Sam. This show's an intervention, mate. We're not even recording. So he's only had 2 cans of Red Stripe down a graveyard with his mates, but he's come home. He's a bit pissed, like
fucking graveyard. Parks it was, mate.
It's after his not where I lived. I had to go to the graveyard to visit all my family. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Dark times. I'm just joking, obviously. So he comes in, but it's a little bit late. He's past his what time do you let 14-year-olds stay out to now? That's sensible.
9, 10.
Right. He's past his 9 o'clock curfew. He's coming at like 9:30, 9:15. And yeah, it's so out of character. So the dad's like, bloody hell, Sam. Well, may as well call the kid Sam now. Bloody hell, Sam. What's where have you been? I've been worried sick. I've just been out with my mates, Dad. Just don't even want to come home at 9. They all get to stay out till 10, sometimes later. Yeah, but come on, Sam. Just talk to us about it. You got to let us know. We could have called the police. It's just so not like you. Oh, piss off, Dad. Piss off. And he runs upstairs, and Sam's at the door, and you're like, oh my God, what's happening? Then it's just this weird little spiral of small rebellions and needless conflict. The drinking escalates. It just gets worse and worse. Before you know it, by the time he's 16, he's getting in trouble with the police. Shoplifting. Smoking weed. Doing anything for kicks.
It's fucking sting at the dump or something.
So, what do? You've got to try and break the cycle. You've got to try and make Sam realise that we're not saying these things because we don't want you to live life to the fullest. We're not saying these things because we don't want you to be happy. We just want to know why you're doing these things. We want you to be safe. We want you to have the maximum potential, the maximum opportunities. We want you to have a life that we want you to have, the life you deserve.
So you beat him to death.
Run the bath. Get in the bath. No. This is where we're at with Twitch. I think we're at that stage, mate. I think we're at that stage of Twitch where we need to have that talk. They're becoming the juvenile delinquents. They're doing stuff that doesn't necessarily make sense. There's these worrying back and forths going on. There's stuff happening behind closed doors that we can't entirely be certain about. And they need to get their act together on some things. They really do. And the Twitch chat's one of them. And they've got all the means there, and they've got all the support there. But yeah, again, as I said, I talked to a lot of streamers, and Twitch chat, not a particularly pleasant experience for some of them. If there's anything slightly outside of the stereotypical gaming norm, they say it's not particularly pleasant. I think there was another article. I think it might have been Harfu's Hearthstone again, flying the flag, nice and proud, the Hearthstone community. And I think she was talking about some of the abuse she got. You know, I'm not just talking about, look, I like a joke. I like an edgy joke. But I'm just talking about weird fucking sustained abuse from anonymous.
Oh yeah, she had it really bad too.
Yeah, but that's just not my jam, right? Like, if I support free speech, but I've never supported the idea of just anonymous people fucking with other people on the internet. Never really supported that. And people seem to think the two are contrary to each other. Nah, bullshit, dude. They're not. They're not at all. Like,
yeah, Hafu got it really bad as well, because remember, like, a guy leaked her nudes or something from years ago, and literally every tournament she played, every stream, you just see it in the chat over and over. It's like, fucking hell. How hard are you going to work to make someone else's life miserable? It's fucking depressing.
Yeah. So, Twitch, look, I think this is where I think it's interesting, okay? And we're going to move on. So, we talked on the last show about Tyler 1 and how Grow Score had been banned, and we went right back to XJ9 being banned, and all these other people have been banned. Nicole Slaw didn't strangle a cat, didn't happen. Banned because rioters definitely went to Twitch and to highlight it. Rioters publicly banging the drum, saying, she strangled a cat, she strangled a cat. What do you think about that? Like, come on, mate. She didn't. And what the fuck's, what are you doing? Motherfuckers even got Peter involved in that. And I don't mean Peter Griffin.
Peter Dalglish.
I mean, even it. So anyway, so I got runny nose and I don't want to go full X special. So yeah, just fucking, we know that there's a communication there, just based on the evidence, just as laid out, balance of probability. So if that's happening, then here's what I don't understand. If you're willing to ban somebody for pissing people off on a platform that is off Twitch, so everyone who's watching the games is having a good time, right? And then people get upset about it, and then you lose your ability to stream. Now, obviously, there's terms of service. Obviously, you agree to certain things. But I'm starting to worry that the terms of service are going to start becoming, if you play a game that is made by a publisher and the publisher contacts us about your behavior and they say, and then they ban you from the game, we will mirror that ban on Twitch. I don't like that. That doesn't make me feel comfortable. Same as the other way. If you do something on Twitch, I do worry about Twitch sharing that information with a party so they can ban you on their platform as well. We had something like this in the UK. It took a lot of legal fighting to get through, and this I just happened to know about this because I worked in the mobile telephone industry for a few years. And you know how, like, if you did one job, we've got this thing in the UK, and it could be different for other countries, so maybe this will enlighten a few people, but they can't give you a deliberately destructive reference for your next job. You know about this, right?
I didn't know that. But then again, I've worked in esports a lot. I don't know real life skills.
The days of the personal reference are gone. The days of, like, someone writing a letter to your prospective employers saying, this guy's a piece of shit, gone. It was deemed to be against workers' rights. So what they do is you have to hand out a very generic questionnaire. And on that, you say the reason, not the specific reason, but, you know, did they leave? Was their contract terminated? Whatever. And then there's the key question: would you rehire? This is how it used to be. It could have even changed again, because I've been sucked into the esports employment vortex. But would you rehire? And whether or not you tick that box was pretty much about as bad as it got when handing references over. I think you may also have been able to put percentage of absenteeism in there. Trying to remember my HR. But anyway, that's it. And that was to stop, say you had a bad experience at work with a particular boss you didn't get along with, that stops them fucking you getting a job for the rest of your life. It's a protection. But equally, with that protection of that worker's right, the right to get employment elsewhere, unfortunately, that also means that people who do shady shit get to go to another company and do the same shady shit. And I know this from sales, because I worked in sales, and I know this from mobile telephony, also in sales and other parts besides. And what they now did was that anybody who was found of fraudulent selling in the mobile telephone industry, so in other words, people who go out to fucking places that and get people who maybe aren't mentally capable, which I've seen, sign them up to fucking mobile phone contracts. I remember one case. I mean, there was all sorts of shit. First of all, I'll tell you one of the wildest things I ever saw in sales. This is unreal. I spent ages. I used to work in a department that used to correct when companies had really fucked up. I worked my way up to it. It was one of my first kind of senior positions before I became a manager. And basically, we were like a troubleshooting team, right? So, some guy had gone out to a home for the mentally incapable or whatever the fuck, I don't know, but people who need live-in care. And they were in like this housing community together. So obviously the people could look after them all. And this guy was selling gas and electric. Door to door. And this guy in one afternoon just comes in. I've done it, lads. Got 12 contracts, big fat commission. Done it. Signed up an entire block, me. I'm like, fucking hell, go in. Go in. Of course, none of those people are legally allowed to sign any contracts whatsoever. They're just not allowed. They've got guardians and parents and carers and all this to do that. But this guy went and did it all. Apparently, one of them had, this is unreal, one of them had such chronic disabilities, physical disabilities as well as mental impairments, that they couldn't even physically hold a pen. And this guy was trying to make out that they'd signed this contract, like. So I don't even want to know. Does he actually put the pen in his hand to like try and move the arm? To like, does he do that like for his own conscience, or does he just sign it and then go, "Is that your signature, mate?" Yeah, sound. But he signed up the whole house, signed up the whole block.
Fucking hell.
So
how much was commission on shit like that anyway when you signed a contract?
If you were doing like door-to-door gas and electric when I was doing it, like you could live like a fucking king on commission only. It was mad money because it was so hard. It was so hard. You knock on a door. What are you doing? Do you want to? Because after the deregulation happened in gas and electric, and it was a wide open market because everyone was obviously locked in to be regulated by your regional supplier. And that's how it used to work. You had to have your regional supplier for your area. So in Wales, it was Swalec, you know?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, right. South Wales Electric Board. And then we had to be with Swalec. So whatever they wanted to charge us, they could charge us. So they did this thing called the deregulation, which was so we could have competition. As we were coming out of an era, this was in the early 90s, I think. We were coming out of an era when we'd seen, privatization was all supposedly better for the punter, you know, it was better for the person to price-wise, we would be more competitive money-wise. So that's what we had. So now you could shop around. So it was people started dropping the price and fluctuating the prices, but it was worth so much money having a customer because it's an essential service. You got to have gas and electric. You got to have it. Got to have it. Some fuckers got to give it to you. So they used to pay the salespeople fucking top dollar. I'm not even kidding. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, because there was a period before where we used to have people walking the door like every other day from a different gas company, and I haven't ever had it since. I guess like everyone's already done now, right?
Well, no, but you can depends because you can get special contracts now where you get locked in, and you can get dual fuel discounts and all this shit because they do price locks now. Where if you agree not to transfer supplier, your price stays the same.
Yeah.
To all this shit. So it's harder. But back then, again, to use our favourite term, it was the Wild fucking West. You do all this door-to-door shit. But yeah, they used to make top fucking dollar. I did it. I've done a stint out there on the beat. And here's the thing. I never did dodgy sales, but I used to have a routine. I used to have a fucking routine. My routine used to go something like this. You would go out to places, areas of territory where you would have bungalows.
Okay.
Bungalows. And bungalows means elderly people. It sounds really exploitative. It's not as bad as it sounds, Sam.
They do need gas and electric.
Yeah, they've got to have it too. So hear me out, right? Here's why you target bungalows. Because old people are more kind. And a lot of the time, their families neglect them so badly, they actually welcome a conversation with someone who's willing to talk and put in a little bit of time with them. So that's the first thing. That's like just knowing your patch, right? And then the thing I used to do is I'd wait for it to piss down with rain. And I would go out in, and I would walk around, and I'd do my tyre a little bit. I mean, people are seeing from my esports broadcast, I can't tie a tie at the best of times. I'll fucking dishevel my tie, ruffle my hair up. I also had hair back then. I ruffle hair up, and I look and be all wet through, and then start knocking doors. And you'd be like, now the key to getting in was to never say, I am from this company at the start, which you're technically supposed to, I think, if I remember rightly. Okay. What you're supposed to do is say, hi, I am from this company. And since the deregulation of the electric, you are now in
door slam.
Bang, right? That's a shit script, isn't it? But that was the one that was approved. But everyone went off the reservation if you wanted to make money. You had to go off the reservation. So my gimmick, I'd come and I'd just say, I'm from the gas and electric company. I am from a gas and electric company, but they assume they assume the one that provides them currently. It can be anyone.
Okay, yeah.
Could be anyone. And they're like, oh, what's it about? Oh, well, I want to take you through some pricing options. But don't worry, I'm sure you haven't got time for it. It's chucking it down with rain. I just want to kind of get this done. Make it look like you don't need to be there yourself. You just want to get your shift on. Oh, come in, pet. Look how wet through you are. Come in, I'll make you a cup of tea. Are you sure? I don't want to trouble you, but yeah, I'd love a cup of tea. I can murder a cup of tea. Like, come in, boom. Right, that's problem number one. You're in the house now. You're having a cup of tea. You're having a chat. You got at least a good 15, 20 minutes now. So what I used to do, depending on the age, the older they were, the more, how shall we say, entrenched in their beliefs they were. So you use that against them. Now, a lot of these big utility companies were owned by energy groups outside of Britain or what you might call allied countries, okay? And for people who'd been alive during World War II, when you have big companies owned by the Germans, not anything that'd bother me. Love Germany, industrious people, great for esports. I love it. Yeah. But to a woman of 76 back in the 90s or older,
husband was widowed in the war.
Yeah, she never remarried. She's a little bit bitter about all that shit, right? So what I used to do was I had this map, had a map, and it was just in colours, and it would be all of the it would be which gas and electric companies were owned by which parts of the world or supplied by which parts of the world in big, vivid colours. And I'd just be like, oh, so anyway, these are your pricing options since the deregulation. So now I do the legal bit. You're now entitled to choose your supplier, and I'm actually representing this supplier today, so we can actually get you cheap gas and electric bills. Here's the price. But here's the thing. I don't know if you know this. But did you know your current supplier is this one here? And they're owned by a German company, man. I hate to tell you that. But I just didn't know if you were aware of that. And a lot of the time they go, no, never.
Ah, no, man.
Because I don't know why, they definitely didn't. Because they would be like, that they assume because they get it from British gas, it's British or whatever, Nah, they got bought out by this company. And this is how the game was played. So yeah, people might say that's dodgy, but that was what you had to do if you wanted to fucking get a sale. But I used to knock it out the fucking park. I was king of the hill, man. It was fucking great. I never had to go rogue.
So how much would one one commission you should be worth?
Totally depends, but I mean, because it also depends what you sign them up for.
Yeah.
But like even just the shitbog standard one, that'd be like on top of the hours while you're traipsing around, you'd get like 40, 50 quid
Not bad.
commish. Yeah, but then it was like cumulative. So if you did 3 in a day, you got a bonus. If you did 6 in a day, you got a bonus again.
All right.
And you could get monthly bonuses and shit. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
I had a lot of money. I made a lot of money by exploiting the xenophobia of little old ladies. In many ways, I like to think of myself as a hero.
Yeah.
I'm not a hero. Anyway, I don't even know how the fuck we got into this. We were talking about the D-Ray. Fucking hell, that was a long departure on the show. Like,
Yeah.
how did we even get into that?
Talking about how you can't leave a negative review, but you can now because if you make dodgy sales.
Yes. So this is the thing. So workers, right? So now, because dodgy selling is such a big problem, it literally fucks up the industry so much in gas and electric, mobile telephones, literally fucks it up because you have to undo the sale. You have to do what they call in the mobile telephone industry a disco reco, a disconnect reconnect type thing, and invalidate a contract with supplier who then has to claw back the commission to the agency that hooked them up in the first place if it was a third-party agency and not direct. Once you've done all that, I mean, it's a fucking massive pain in the ass. They might be off supply. They might have had some free connections. They might have a bill, and then they go, well, I'm definitely not paying a fucking bill. I never even wanted to be done. Just a nightmare. So now what they did is they brought in these rules that say, listen, he can't be trusted. He got fired for fraudulent sales. So now companies all information share to keep people who do fraudulent sales away from getting jobs. So they realize that actually, if I do fuck up and get caught doing this, I can't just hop to the next call center along and do 6 months there and I get caught doing the same thing and do it again and do it again and do it again until I decide what the fuck I want to do with my life. So and people are saying that's a good thing. So we got that now. But I don't like the idea of it going to the point where it's like, if you do something bad once, like we were talking about with the Taiwanese thing, this is how the show's all linked, right? Like, if you do something illegal, sound. Get that? Fuck you, right? The law is the law. Sound. The law is the law. And the law and morality should not be conflated. They are two very distinct entities. But if you're just being an asshole, I don't like the idea of you being an asshole being shared with anybody else, and all of a sudden your assholeness can't be confined to one little area. Like, I don't believe anybody should be in prison for calling somebody mentally retarded. I don't believe that. How Taiwanese laws have this. It's like in Germany. Germany have got this injurious verbal assault thing. Where if I called you a fucking idiot or something publicly and people heard it, you could have me arrested as if I'd hit you. I've had this explained to me by German listeners on the show before. So I think those kind of laws just need to be fucking sensibly stamped out. We got enough people going to jail for enough fucked up things. We don't need to start sending people to jail because they're talking shit in games, in League of Legends. However, racism, crime, hate speech, covered by laws, different kettle of fish. So I don't want people to think I'm dodging the issue or changing the issue. Those Chelsea fans that got banned for 5 years and fined, good. Fuck those guys.
Yeah, fuck those guys. Should be lifetime. And that counts as violence, kind of, right? Throwing a guy.
Oh, yeah. And just while we're on the subject, I reached out to Tyler One, and the great one replied.
Oh shit!
The great one replied, and he said, "I'll read it to you."
Okay.
I said, "If you want to come on and have a talk, we can." And he went, and I said, "It can be off the record if you need. If you just want," and he went, "Nothing to talk about. I'll get back to you on that interview." Okay, Chief. So maybe we have Tyler One on the show one day and he can talk about everything that's going on, because as I say, as things stand, it appears he's been banned for an unnamed reason. And again, I do not like this trifecta at the moment of Twitch, Reddit, and Riot conspiring to ban anybody doing anything that is deemed by the community to not be acceptable, because these are people's livelihoods at stake. When your gameplay is tied to your livelihood, that shouldn't make up a new set of rules for you. You should still be bound by the same terms of service everyone else has signed. And that should also include that if the detection process in place doesn't catch you doing anything wrong, you got to suck it up and accept your detection process is bad. So that's my stand on that. But just to talk about a few things about Counter-Strike, we went off on a massive tangent there. There I was selling gas and electric in the Northeast for no reason. Wanted to just bring up a few things. Obviously, there was, I suppose we should talk about this. You seen Simple's new team?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Seen get wrecked. 16-3 or something. Can't even remember. Against Copenhagen Wolves it was.
Right.
That's 16-3.
Let's just go over this. I remember, because it wasn't that long ago, and maybe you remember it too, Sam. There was an event in Columbus. I think it was a major. I think it had $1 million up for grabs. I think it had some fucking epic games. And one of my endearing memories was there was a player. He was playing for Team Liquid. And the crowd loved him. They loved him. And he was standing on the stage and giving it this. And every time he did a big play, he was giving it this. And the crowd loved him. He got some of the biggest cheers I hold the whole event. Can't remember his name. Now, certainly...
Christian Benteke, I think it was.
Yeah, Benteke. Benteke. Now, whatever went down with Team Liquid for Simple to not be in Team Liquid anymore, that's fine. And whatever his flaws are, surely we can all accept nobody deserves this, even if he's doing it to himself. The same way that if you saw somebody, I don't know, let's say, for example, Sam, they were addicted to painkillers.
Okay.
And they were taking painkillers and it was making them desperately ill. You'd tell them to stop, wouldn't you? You'd say, don't do that, mate.
Yeah.
Stop taking those painkillers. You're going to kill yourself. And if they don't listen, you might get them help. You might call somebody.
Yeah.
Simple is on the painkillers, mate. Except in this team, he's going to be in fucking pain all the time.
And there's no killers available other than him.
Yeah. Like, you've got players that I just have never even heard of. They're terrible. They're called worst players. Good luck finding an organization with that as your selling point. Hey, can we get a sponsor? Oh, certainly, we'll take it into consideration. You're Simple. You were the guy in Team Liquid, yeah? What's your new team called? Worst players? Actually, we've thought about it, and we're going to go with dog shit cunts. We were going to weigh it up, and yeah, we're going to go with those guys. Going to go with those. We just feel it's more in tune with our values. Worst players. And then, just in case it wasn't bad enough, just as you can be like, ha ha ha, it's ironic. It's ironic. It's ironic, mate. Bit of irony. What do? You get absolutely stuffed by Copenhagen Wolves. And let me read you the names of the legendary squad of Copenhagen Wolves. You've got Glaive. I like Lucas, like him a lot, but that's the same Glaive who had that weird, embarrassing hissy fit that almost ended his career because his girlfriend wasn't allowed on stage. Always find it a bit hard to look in the eye after that, mate, to be honest.
Yeah.
To be fair, he did have a collapsed lung shortly afterwards, so maybe he wasn't feeling all that great.
Fucking hell.
Maybe he knew. Maybe he could feel it going, and he was like, "I need my missus here." Like, I don't know. But you've got Mertz, you've got Valda, you've got SMF, and you've got Snappy, right? And they've wrecked you 16-3, 16-3 on Train and Mirage. It's fucking... And here with the interview, it's fucked up, man. That shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen to anyone, let alone one of the best motherfucking players in the world. What the fuck is going on? What is going on? What's he done that for? He'd have been better off not playing at all, just streaming and constantly cock teasing. Yeah, I'm going to move to a big team soon.
Yeah, it's having a summit.
Yeah, but with talent.
Yeah.
But he hasn't done that. He's jumped straight into this team. What I don't think anyone, like, someone should have really explained it to him. You are very often better off not just joining any old shit team because your stock can go down. And I'll give you an example. I don't even mind saying this. The SK Gaming lineup that Pimp joined after being ousted from Dignitas, just depressing. He'd have been a star in North America. That didn't happen. So he ends up in SK Gaming, which is gaming purgatory. Ridiculous fucking run at Gfinity. Never doing that again. Back to normal in the minor qualifiers. And Pimp stock's gone down. Like, who remembers Pimp who was dropping bodies left, right, and centre till MSL went, "You've got to up now." Fuck my life. And it just ruined him. Because Pimp was unreal. He was one of the top riflers in Europe.
Yeah.
Not the super top, but top. Consistent, reliable, dependable. Go back. Even Thorin said this. And we all love Thorin. We all agree with Thorin. Now where is he? He couldn't score in a brothel with a 50 quid note tied round his pecker. It's just sad. It's just sad what he's become. And I think he knows it. I think Pimp knows it a little bit.
Deep down.
Yeah, I know Jacob a while. I see him playing with just those sad eyes like, haha, made a clutch. No one remembers when I did this all the time. Na. It's just sad, isn't it? So your stock can go up and down. And it don't take long for this community, who are fickle at the best of times, it don't take long for them to be like, yeah, he's shit. Because your last 2-3 tournaments have been shit. Or the last team you were associated with did badly. That's it. You're out. If Simple stays with this fucking team, he's killed his fucking career. He'll have killed it stone dead. Because if he can't carry those fucking merry band of shitters, honestly, who's going to take the risk with all the toxicity stuff? Imagine as well if Team Liquid go on and do that like ex-girlfriend thing of just being like fucking
Tell
like you.
Everyone, no, asshole.
Yeah, not just that. Like
Okay.
maybe your ex-girlfriends do that. Mine glowing reviews.
Yeah, of course.
Glowing reviews.
There's this.
Glowing reviews. Can quote my last ex. Said very good at selling gas and electric. Old man one. Did my nan a dual fuel discount.
Fucking hell.
Good lad he was. That's what she... Right? But anyway, what I meant was you get the not so good version and then you break up and you are miserable and sad, but they just are like, well, single now, better get my shit together. And you have to watch them go on and be fucked from a distance. Like, why were you never in shape for me? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
And if Team Liquid get their shit together, Simple's going to be sat playing for worst players. Worst players. Right? And he's just going to be looking over at Team Liquid shaking their ass at a party. And he's going to fucking hate his life, isn't he?
Okay, I'm getting too real now, mate.
As bad as he thought the players in Team Liquid were, come on, mate. Come on, Alexander. Get it together. Because look at that. Right, you can't look at any player there and be like, you're better than Elige. Huh? Got him. Got him. You can't say it with a straight face. Yeah, you might be able to talk all Ukrainian together, and that's good, right? You all have a bit of our native language, but come on, mate. Come on, Simple, please. Please don't do this. I don't want to be I don't want in 2017 to be saying, whatever happened to that Simple guy? Oh, yeah, he's in a new team. It's called Terabad.
Even shitter players.
Yeah. Just dog shit with a 0 and a 1. Do you know what I mean? Come on, mate.
Where is he? He's an I-Series.
Yeah. He did get 5th to 6th at I-Series.
Yeah, fair play.
Yeah.
Got an headset, like.
It would just be fucking criminal, wouldn't it? Be criminal. So yeah, anyway. That was a bit of a weird show. Just all over the place, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think this is what people like, though. They just want to chat and shit while they do menial things. So there we go, mate.
All our listeners do me.
Filled your void.
Yeah, I'll fill your fucking void. When are we going to bring Purple Aki to the team?
I know, it's just the trump card.
He's just been looming, hasn't he? He's been hiding. We haven't talked about
it.
No, was this some nice biceps, Ben?
Oh, wow. Can you fit through our chair? Have a squeeze.
No, we can't. We can't fit him in.
No, we can't.
Can't
next week. This is just going to be the theme of the thing. Next week, Purple Aki.
Yeah. So anyway, no, but there was a few things I did want to talk about, which obviously we haven't had time. Went off on a mad tangent, telling people about gas and electric and mobile phones and all sorts of shit. And door-to-door gas and electric, of course. Very important, a dying industry. But the people that did it and did it legit, they were kings among men. But anyway, I saw a tweet. We'll get into it next week, but I'll just tease it. Because we're going to get Bryce on, hopefully, for the show before things happen. That may slow down how frequent.
Esports lawyer, for people who don't know.
Bryce Blum, if you don't know yet, he is the esports lawyer. He's heavily involved with Unicorn. And he made a tweet just 2 days ago. And he said, the problem with skin betting isn't that it exists. It's that it's unregulated, no account verification, competitive integrity protection, etc., etc. He's right, of course. Absolutely right. You cannot have unregulated gambling. It's just not, it's never going to work out, is it? Right? So, and another video game attorney, perhaps one that's actually got a bit more tenure in gaming and competitive gaming, a chap called Ryan Morrison, who has dealt with a lot of legal stuff, including YouTube, fair use, that kind of thing. And he very often tweets about this. He replied and saying, and that the publishers secretly run the site. So then people started asking about this and saying, what do you mean? Are you saying that Valve secretly runs some of these skin sites, some of these skin lotteries? And there's no direct reply to it. And a load of people made some kind of sarcastic jokes. And including one guy was saying, oh, so the reptilians and Hillary Clinton and Valve all control skins? Ha, ha, ha. And everyone's like, ha, 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 ha. But then a chap called Risen Lazarus, who was another studying attorney.
Used to call into trash talk a lot, for anyone who remembers that.
He said on Reddit that he'd been a intern over at Unicorn, so I imagine he'd worked quite closely with Bryce. And he said, actually, publishers are involved in stuff like this, and I think it'll become known sooner rather than later, was the quote. So I'm very interested in this. Very, very interested.
Yeah. By the way, genius move if they are. Like, can't even be mad. That is unreal. Imagine the amount of Skrilla Valve would be raking in if they just owned all those sites as well.
It can't be. It can't be that simple.
Literally just printing money.
It can't be that simple. But I thought it was fucking.
Can you imagine that world though, where you run the economy and you also run how people spend it? That would be insane. That'd be utopia levels of Skrilla.
We'll have to see. But it's one of the things that I think when we get Bryce on the show, we'll definitely broach that subject. So as soon as we record that episode, we'll hopefully shed a bit more light on it because I'm definitely interested. So there it is. That was another episode of the Richard Lewis Show. And of course, it's not just about me, even though I named it after myself. That's just a monument to my ego.
Oh, someone did say you should name it the Richard and Sam Show. Nah.
Yeah. How long you worked in esports, Sam?
3 years.
And what have you been completely broken by it yet?
Not quite.
Right. You got to hit rock bottom. You got to bounce back. Hit rock bottom again. Bounce back, be subject to a weird public scandal that threatens to end your career, and then somehow your talent just gets you out of and then, and only then, can it be called the Richard Lewis and Sam Show. Or Dick and Sam.
Fucking hell, sounds like some shit kids film. Dick and Sam.
You know, when me and Milo were working more closely together before he went on his speaking tour, we had talks with a company that will remain nameless, and we were talking about doing our own podcast, and it was going to be called Milo and Dick. Absolutely true. We storyboarded it and came up with concepts and everything. You know, I honestly, if my life...
I'm sure you told me it was something far more outrageous than that.
No.
Wasn't it going to be like faggot and dick or something? There was something crazy you gave me as a working title.
Milo uses that word all the time.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean.
There's just no way any fucking... no publisher's going to...
It'd be a good name though, faggot and dick. I'd like that.
That'd be unreal.
That'd be next level. It'd have to be YouTube only though.
It was going to be aired, but
yeah, I know. But
it's going to be aired live. But it was it was going to be Milo and Dick. And honestly, if it wasn't for the esports shit, like if it wasn't for all this esports shit, that's probably what I would have been doing right now. I feel like I got unfinished business in esports, but then, and only then. Maybe I can go and do something like that later. Probably not, because Milo's going to be on fucking mainstream TV. Probably, it's mega famous. He'd be like, "Who was that fat bearded asshole I used to work with?" Nah, I was never going to do a show with you. Also, nah, he definitely loves me. Do you want to know? Shit, he definitely loves me.
Jesus, what kind of mad daddy issues is it? No, he loves me. He loves me. He does.
He loves me. He loves me.
He just doesn't come on much anymore.
Fucking Milo calls me daddy. Anyway, so yeah, there you go. Could have happened, didn't happen. So I'll end the show. Thanks a lot for watching. Sorry if this one was a bit weird, but fuck it. It is what it is. It's just two people talking about shit. That's what you sign up for. It's free. Doesn't cost you a fucking dime. If you don't like it, don't watch. Tell other people not to watch. Let's see who wins this battle of a trick. Why have I got so confrontational all the time?
I know, just angry as fuck. Let's fucking go now. Let's see who wins.
Let's just see who has it. I'll fucking sell your nan, gas and electric. And fucking get my mate, Rob Crosley, to come.
It's Rob Crosley. He sells gas and electric door to door.
He's a dark-head Rob Crosley. Maybe we could get Rob Crosley on the show.
Should we, mate? I might be already just come at you the entire time. Will you shutter and close the Richard Lewis Show?
Yeah. Your podcast is shit. Opening statement. Not the question. Yeah, I'm asking the questions though, Rob. I'm making statements around here. Who knows, mate? Fuck it. Anyway, we'll get some guests. We're going to record some stuff. And then I've got a feeling there'll be a slight pause, and then we'll find out if we can do these a bit more regularly. But, it's been fun. Glad people are enjoying them, and it's finding the way to Reddit every day, and people are watching and tweeting. Obviously, Thanks to everyone who's subscribed. Thanks to all the people who are doing the animations for us. We're going to have more of those coming. We're going to release the Wild West one as a separate thing on our YouTube channel because we thought that was so good. We were going to do that and endorse it. And that's about it, Sam. So before we wrap up the show, any final words?
Rest in peace, Easy.
See you next time.